Hey guys, it's Jeremy with Dragon's Breath Glassworks. I'm here in Kentucky. We're actually in the campgrounds right now, but I wanted to do a little intro for the video we shot this weekend. I was in Pennsylvania over the weekend at the Celtic Festival, and on Friday I injured my arm. So this video we're gonna do, this is a short one, we're just making a pumpkin, but I'm doing it with just my left hand. And unfortunately, Megan, who is my assistant in Pennsylvania, has broken her leg. And so she is kind of hobbling around and doing the bench work, and I'm walking back and forth doing the furnace work and the marvering, but I'm just using one arm. So enjoy. On Friday, we're going to talk a little bit about shop safety and PPE. So enjoy the video, guys, and if you do, please like and subscribe. Thanks a lot.
Okay, so we'll start. I'm going to gather the glass with one hand, my off hand.
So I do a lot of gathering and working with just my left hand. Occasionally will be using my right hand here, but it's mainly to support the back end of the pipe, either by
Just a little bit more.
either by just supporting the weight by pushing down on the back of the pipe or letting it rest underneath my elbow most of the time. I can kind of guide it with my fingers, but I can't really squeeze at all with my right hand here. I'll go into more detail on Friday when I release a video about exactly what I did to my arm, but it was not pleasant. So I originally was going to edit this video down and cut some parts out, but it's pretty short.
Once I melt this in, I'll marver it. I'll puff and cap at the bench.
And so it's
hand it off
pretty
to
short.
the shape.
And the sound quality is pretty decent on it, so I didn't want to completely drown the sound. The music in the background is actually one of the bands playing for the Celtic Festival. And we have one of our regulars filming this for us because I forgot my tripod. This was interesting to try to do, puff and cap with my left hand. It worked out fine, but it was a little bit awkward. Megan doesn't like to puff and cap. She usually pinches her lip when she does, so we would all possibly avoid it. I'm just giving her a little back pressure with the jacks there because I couldn't really control the starter bubble super well, so she was just kind of cleaning up the sides. And the purpose of our paper here isn't to shape it, she's just cooling it down. When we do pumpkins, we like to be as fast as possible, so cooling down that starter bubble definitely helps. Anytime I'm addressing the camera on this, it's because I am giving directions to the camera.
So my wife demanded to see what this nonsense looks like. So I'll get my second gather, I'll
I'm just giving
marver,
directions
and
to
then
the
I'll
camera person.
hit the mold.
I want to make sure that they know what's coming next, so they can track the movement. You can see right there, I just sort of balance the piece under my elbow. One-handed marvering is really not very easy. I apologize for the condition of my floor. I didn't have a lot of time to clean and set up for this show. I injured my arm almost as soon as I arrived in Pennsylvania, so I was doing everything one-handed, and that was after about 3 hours in the ER. So I was putting the hose on the back of the pipe for her. Normally that's something she would have done herself, but she can't hook her leg around the rail to lean back and forth. so we're having to do a lot of things that you wouldn't think. Oh, so they're gonna.
I mean, they've been sitting over there rusting for a year.
Oh no, I use the street shoes. I thought you meant that color.
Yeah, I frequently am using.
Oh no,
These ones over.
are they? We'll see what.
Frequently, I'm using my elbow on the back of the pipe to control it, or locking it in my elbow. She's puffing right
somehow
now
both loose and tight.
because the shoulder's a little off center. And we're wanting a large pumpkin, and so I'm going to hold the bottom in place while she is jacking it down and blowing really hard.
That was bad. Right.
This whole first day of work, this first day I worked after the injury, I mean, it's literally the day after the injury, and so even just flexing my fingers was causing pain because of where the injury was. And so you see my hands open and my elbows kind of up and right around where my heart is most of the time. When I drop it below my chest, it caused some pressure buildup. It was a little unpleasant. Megan and I have very different techniques that we use when we're making pumpkins. She does them one way, I do them a different way. And so we're kind of splitting the difference here. She's doing it her way, but in my timing, well, at least as close as we can get. So
Alright, so I'm going to flash, we'll break it off at the bench. I'll gather up the
that means a
stem.
lot of unusual and
bring it
awkward movements
over,
that neither of us would
together.
normally do, but they were necessary, like the paddling. I almost never paddle a pumpkin, neither does she, but it was necessary in this case. Couldn't find a regular bonk stick, so we're using the stimming, the back end of the stimming tool. It worked, it was just a little bit of a dull vibration, so it took a little extra pop to get it off.
It is a material called fiber frax. It's an aluminum oxide fiber woven together into a blanket. Kind of like non-carcinogenic asbestos.
Expect me to read your mind.
Yes. We are one, Megan.
So
We are a single unit.
There we are.
that was the rolling the back of the pipe
Most
across
awkward
my
thing.
thigh. That was a little weird. So since Megan can't stand to put on this stem, she's going to kind of hold everything in place while I pull up the stem and wrap it. On top of this, normally, she's using two tools. She's using shears and the stimming tool there to hold the pumpkin down. Normally we would just use diamond shears, but our diamond shears really were terrible. They'd been sitting out in the weather for about 8 months, got very rusty, and because my arm was pretty messed up, I couldn't properly clean and prep my tools. And so we were just working with what we had. Best part, since I can't open the annealer door and move the pumpkin at the same time, Megan is going to have to hobble on over to the annealer. She can open that up while I put the piece away.
And that's how two broken glass blowers can make one pumpkin.
All right, I hope you enjoyed that one. If you did, there's a couple other videos right here. Click on them to watch another one. That was a fun experience. It was difficult, it was a little painful, but it was a learning experience. So, all right, thanks guys. I'll see you next time.